Hey everybody, BTO Pro here. Today I'm going to show some very early work on integrating some of the hacks and learning book outline stuff that we've been doing in Polymer, but how we're swapping out from our old way of doing business. So I'm going to do this through an example. We're starting to slowly phase this in and play with it. It's not production ready yet. As you'll see, it's a little rough around some of the edges, but so for those unfamiliar, this is generally what our courses kind of flow like. These links go off to other systems, whether they're ELMS delivered or they're in a learning management system or what have you. So I've got my content. I can just scroll through, and we present topics to people. People can click edit and modify. So this is the way the world has been. And I say has been as in like past tense. So this is a prototype we've been working on, but using real content. Previously, I've been doing the prototype in with fake stuff. So to look at what this same course looks like, I'm on the same page. I can scroll to the top and you can kind of see. It's the same if I jog the this part of the URL down. You can see that. So I am in the same space. This is the same content, but it's ratcheted through a Polymer app instead of a traditional Drupal page load process. So I'm going to refresh. You can see what happens when the page loads. So you can see page loads, things start to fade in. You see a little bit of ELMS transitional stuff to indicate loading. These are the topics in question, so I can click to that. You can also see we're doing a lot as far as trying to maintain logical position on the screen. So for example, if I scroll down one, you can see we're kind of tracking that my percentage of progression through this piece of material, some type of auditory indicator that, hey, you hit the bottom or you finished this. And then we have pagination on the sides at all times, kind of like ebook reader style. So I could scroll down and go to the next page. When I jump to the next page, Drupal loads a node behind the scenes via Ajax, swaps it in, and then I can see my progression tracks to the next thing that I do. The browser also jogs back to the top and keeps things nicely positioned. So for example, if I scroll up and we'll jump to this teamwork, your strengths portion, you'll see it takes you down to where you should be looking, right? I don't care about the banner anymore once I've kind of gotten the feel of what the course is. So it's trying to keep you on task as much as it can so that you don't have to really do other engagements, right? Your mental context is I want to look at the next thing, or I need to read the next page or whatever. So you can see your content loading through this methodology. Looks pretty slick in this instance. You can see this H5P loading in from another location. I can go down, read material, and it gave me a little congratulations, Facebook like, one's up type of a thing. So we got a lot of like CSS transitions and things going on. You can see the outline side. Again, there's jogging back to the top. Some sticky positioning, issues, right? So that's falling behind the text there. Here it's over top where it should be so that I know what I'm reading as I'm going through. Again, little activity. We could have some larger activities that are in here. Video presentation, right? This is an area where I'm going to have to. You'll see this admitting our glitches here. I click this. This doesn't readily do anything. I would have to actually like reload the page, and then it'll serve it up. So it's still some little integration quirks because we are going from a jQuery based worldview of doing things to this. So click and that would open up and expand and show me the video. Other things to add at that point obviously involve the screen has jogged to this position, and so I clicked and I said, hey, I care about that video. It should naturally scroll the screen down so that that's the only thing in view. That would only make sense. We can click to the next thing. We load that thing. Another performance optimizing thing. See, I can just jump between these very quickly. And these then are skipping on server transactions. So I'm not talking to Drupal anymore once I get the data of this page. And so everything feels much, much snappier. Some things kind of progressively loading in as we go. I can jump around and navigate this way faster than I could previously. So it's just kind of an initial tour of some of the work we've been doing in this. We're doing a lot of UX testing on this, getting feedback from our community, and also playing around with the edit mode, which shown in some other sequences. So I'll actually go to a test space for that. I can't reasonably show that in a real environment, but we can show it in kind of the sandbox here. So you imagine I have my content and reading through. I can check out the activities and things this instructor has listed, and I want to edit it. Instead of going into a traditional Drupal edit mode, that we have what's called hacks, and hacks is a headless authoring experience. So that we could take, say, this image and select it, and then perform operations against just this image. Now, in this case, we haven't specifically accounted for images yet. We're just working on the page elements and kind of the general UX patterns of this approach. But if I wanted to duplicate this, I can, and it'll duplicate that entire asset area. If I said, oh, you know what, this actually should go below that title, I can move that down below that title. If I wanted to get rid of this, right, this is the one I copied, I could just hit delete on that section, move to this, and jog down. And you can hopefully start to see, you know, just how much easier this would be to work with a content management solution than any previous methodology, really. So it's, you know, it's not what you see is what you get. It's, you know, you're literally reaching out, touching, and manipulating the thing to be the way you want it. So these things are not without their glitches. This is still, you know, kind of prototype phase for sure, but we're starting to work it into produced content to kind of start to give people a feel for it. You know, I can start adding material to this, and really we're just trying to get those conventions down. You know, get the low-level architecture working as far as, like, can I put a paragraph down? Can I do content operations upon it? And can I save and have that actually save and have that change reflected? So you can hopefully already see how much faster that is than previous methods. You see it actually did save. It did keep my changes where it moved the title of that above there, and it changed you know, the formatting of these things. So there's still a lot of work to do. It's, you know, I would classify it as a highly functional prototype. Certainly not finished, and certainly not without bugs. But it's kind of a glimpse into where we're taking things.